What I saw in that index real quick coming over, volatile is just that the fact that it's flatlined. Relative to this happened, somebody might have bought out this morning, but an algorithm on a bit farm probably pulled that thing right back up because it should be about there. That's what their algorithms as a common bit farm number output's going to say to do. They're going to buy up. That thing's going to pop that thing right back off to where it was because that's where it should be, and it's not really factoring the meme stock until somebody comes on the screen, looks at the interpretation, decides to say on a trillion, and it's not moving here to the Hubble's 45 base where you put those lines. I'm going to need somebody to explain. And that does correlate to a dip. You know, that dip could be somebody selling out because they saw her on the camera this morning. Now, I gave her a fair bit of bones about blockchain and organization, and usually the conversation, in this case, just to finish it off, is going to be the educational model. And the house protocols of, well, you want to get into Bitcoin, Zcoin, Dogcoin, whatever variable on mine and Bitfarm that there is to it, there's some operating procedures we have to go through first on your home life rotations and what job line systems of economics, because these are those kinds of to close off where you're going to go, when you're going to get there, in factoring of real programming, brute force stuff that has to go into that home bit farm. They just don't spring up out of the ground like Princess Peach's mushroom hut, buddy. You know, you're going to have to put a little work in there, not just play gold off of the market. There's an actual physical gold that has a index that is also inflating off of the value of how hard it is to get it. On the T-note of the 30 out there, well, they're going to mine it for a while. That's going to start to condense the silver coins in the boxes from the bank there on that note. And the boxes, marshmallows, they would be that indicator based on primes and ones. They would look like those situations based on that form of the math problem. And generally, it's going to follow those rules. And if it does, it's going to have multiple indexes, not just of that model, but several of the models you're going to reference as simulations that could function beyond that system as a quantum operator that needs to be formed in an operation in that system. To say at a point in time, this is what that does. It's not factoring heat out of the equation. It's functioning it as an energy to transmit through the proper channel as it's heading down. You know, and so that's the bit farm. You know, that's why index to the Hubble's constant there is going to be up, because, you know, when it's, I just want to put money on there, use the Wobbles account to turn that over, get in there, and I'll bit farm it from when it's going to meme stock based on when you have a conversation about it, because otherwise it's changing, and otherwise I could just put money commonly on it. You say a trillion, I can believe that number. Nothing's going to adjust that. I should be able to trust you for COVID and asteroids and anything else that references an XYZ that should differentiate this and have it factored onto your system, because it's going to get into that ideal of governmental principles once you say, well, there's a 90-day protocol for it. You know, what is it there? Denmark does a 2-year military system. We're just being a little bit more progressive under the totally wild standard of free America. That's what it is, and maybe there's some stuff in there. What this is, and against the military standard, because this happens to be over here as well as a part of it, and this is also in there. And so as you factor that standard to what that integral may represent for singlet states, neural networking, cosmic ray collisions is fractaling into certain subatomic particles on the ground and some type of metal plate, or, you know, plastic plate where they can go pick them up with PR tweezers, apparently, you know. Iron 14 or carbon 14. You know, but there it is. There's a whole jar of them. I'll be damned. What can we do with them, boy? You gotta light up a Nokia, I mean, with... Oh, the pickle. Yeah, pickle Rick there. I'm putting it in the Hadron Collider. No, we're going to take a moment to think about this in terms of engineering that team, that operator, the system, collisions. What are we enriching with? I thought we were making God particles today to put in the fucking alien spacecraft.